Hi, this is Andrew Aversa, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the powerful drum mapping features of Tokyo scoring drum kits. This advanced UI is used when you want to create a totally custom drum kit setup. It's for users that want total control over their mapping and articulations. If you just want to load and play with default mappings, switch kit pieces in and out, or load snapshots, all of that can be done from the main Kit tab, which I'll show in another video. So this is more for power users. The first thing you'll notice is the keyboard and the labels above or below each key. These are indicators of what kind of drum is mapped to that key. For example, RC is right crash, HH is hi-hat, HT is high tom, and so on. All of the labels are described further in the manual. By clicking on a key, you'll see the full name of the kit piece and the articulation in the sound browser below. The current drum sounds like this. And we can switch as easily as clicking on another high tom. But we're not limited to high toms. We can grab a totally different kind of drum instead, like a snare. There is no limit to what you can map. You can even have the exact same drum and articulation on two separate keys. For example, by default in this kit, we have a kick with a plastic beater and a kick with a felt beater assigned to B0 and C1. But I can click on C1 and swap that to the plastic beater. So now I have the same kick and the same type on two different notes. This is really useful when you want to play rapid kick and snare parts on a MIDI keyboard. Now, if you look in the upper right, the volume, offset, and tune controls are unique to each individual MIDI key. I can make the B0 kick louder and increase the tuning without affecting the C1 kick, even though it's the same drum and the same articulation. You could also create a custom tom setup this way. Let's see how easy it is. I'll start at C0 and assign some toms in a row. It's simple enough. Now I'll add some variations by mapping the same toms to the keys in between, but I'll adjust their tuning. This way I can get even more variation from the toms on top of all the dynamics and round robins we recorded. On a side note, this sound icon here enables previews so you can hear what each drum and articulation sounds like as you're browsing. Above that, there's a drop-down where you can load and save your custom mappings. And finally, the Link Selected Key to Kit Piece option is pretty magical. If we were on the main Kit UI, when you click on a drum, you would see a pop-up like this. Using this pop-up, you can very easily swap between kit pieces, like different snare brands. So what happens under the hood when you do that? Like when you switch from a rhythm snare to a Slingerland? Let's see. If we look at the current snare mapping, there are actually 5 keys linked to the snare. There's a roll, a rim shot, a center hit, edge, and flam. Now I'll swap the kit piece, check the mapping tab, and you can see that all 5 of those keys have been updated, keeping the correct articulation, but changing the snare itself. When you're creating a custom mapping like I did with the toms earlier, you'll want to use Link Selected Key to Kit Piece. That way, if you decide to, let's say, swap out all the DW toms with rhythm ones, you can do it in a click from the main Kit tab, rather than going to this mapping tab and mapping each individual key again. And this concludes our look at the mapping tab of Tokyo Scoring drum kits. As you can see, it's really possible to create any kind of mapping or performance setup you want, even with multiple kits at the same time. Be sure to subscribe for more tutorials and demonstrations of this library, along with the many other instruments and plugins that we develop. This has been Andrew Aversa, and I'll see you next time.